I had a dinner with a buddy who sadly lost his house in the fires in the Palisades. And he goes, guess what I got offered today? I said, what? He goes, a professional sifter. That's right. For $800 an hour, you can employ someone to, like we're in the golden days in the Oregon Trail, to sift through your ashes. It's dark. It's nuts.
$800 an hour?
He was like, Josh, it was so expensive that I was like, anything you find is not going to be worth the money I'm going to spend.
Oh my God, that is what are you nuts. Stop grave robbing too. I hate that. That said, how do we invest?
Shout out small business.
Two Jews, both big and tall, no subject too small for the good guys. A Mother's Dream premium podcast team, make it your weekly routine. It's a Good Guys. And if you don't give us 5 stars, what are you nuts? What are you nuts? Yeah, we're the good guys, we're not the great guys. We're just the good guys. Whoa.
Benjamin, how the hell are you?
I'm splendid, Josh. I want you to know that yesterday, or 2 days ago, I went golfing. The second that I found out, the second that you see that it ticks over 40 degrees, you start to think about it in New York because we're sick. Okay, we're deprived of good weather. I know. Sure. California, you and your father-in-law, you get to hit the links whenever you want because it's gorgeous. But over here, you know, we only have a certain golf season. I saw it was going to be 46 degrees. We went out there. Freezing. I shot the round of my life. I don't know if this means anything to you. I shot an 81.
That's
huge. I had
huge.
a chance to break 80, and it was the round of my life. And I'm trying to figure out, was it because I was cold, Josh?
Yes.
Was I more focused on the weather than I was on the actual game? And as a result, I was more relaxed when I was playing?
What was the par for the course?
The par was a 72.
Nice.
6,600 yards. So I was 9 over. It was unbelievable. I played so well. And yeah, so how am I? I'm freaking great. I'm excellent. And now today, Josh, it's 55 degrees. This whole week it's supposed to be mid to high 50s. And all I know is that the groundhog saw his shadow, but I don't think it means dick.
It doesn't mean dick. Who came up with these fables?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
No.
If the groundhog sees his shadow, it means more winter. What are you, nuts? That's what are you, nuts?
Total what are you, nuts? Like, spare me. You know money's going into that. At the very least, the gas that it takes for the news crews to get there. They're wasting it on that.
They love it. They love that story, too. They love all showing up, watching Chuck, who rest in peace. We all know, dropped by de Blasio, the OG Chuck.
Totally.
De Blasio was holding him. He dropped him, suffered internal bleeding, and died the next week. Okay, but in general, this is a nuts practice. Nuts. I actually can't think of anything in modern times that is as crazy as us legitimizing that if a groundhog sees his shadow, it means there's more winter.
Yeah, dude. Because you know there have been guys who've been like, hey, is it Groundhog Day? Yeah, he see his shadow? He did. Fuck! Like, that's...
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. To this day. Can you think of something that we do that's equally as nuts as a society? I can't.
Just so we tell our kids there's something called Santa Claus. But other than that.
I guess that's true too. Yeah, Santa.
Easter Bunny and Santa.
Yeah, what's up with that?
I was going to say there's no Jew mysticism like that, except we do kind of say that a guy parted the seas.
Yeah, no, that would be the mysticism for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Like who knows if that really happened.
Who knows? Yeah, and that we managed to have one night of oil last for 8 nights. What are you, nuts? There's a fictitious amount of oil.
There was an ark.
Or there's a specific amount of oil, not fictitious. Yeah, an ark, the Noah's Ark, you never know.
So many.
You never know.
First of all, that Moses was in a basket in the Nile, I don't care how tight that wicker was. It's letting in some water, no?
By the way, this Josh, is as what are you, nuts as
Totally.
Groundhog. We've reached it. A wicker basket does not float. Okay, a wicker basket sinks.
This
How?
podcast sucks.
How, Josh? How? Wicker.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
I'm sure that there's some archaeologists who say they sealed it with wax. No, she didn't.
No.
Please.
No wax. No, there was no wax. She made a game time decision. She's like, they're coming, and dumped him. She had time to make a wax wicker basket that on 100% doesn't allow water in from the Nile. Nope.
Here's another one. Here's another fun one that we never think about. Jesus, born of Immaculate Conception to the wonderful Virgin Mary. Shout out. You don't think he had some weirdness with Joseph, his stepdad?
Probably.
You don't think that got weird?
It
Like,
probably
Joseph's
did, Josh.
like, hey, pick up your clothes on the floor. And Jesus goes, my father's God.
Yeah.
You
Complex,
bossing me
Josh.
around, Joe?
Complex. Absolutely.
Yeah, you think you're not my real dad. My real dad is God.
My real dad is God, Joe.
Save it, Joe.
Save it, Joe.
Oh, I'm going to go
It's
tend
enough.
to the lambs.
It's enough, Joe.
My dad is God. He knocked up your wife without touching her. Loser.
Honestly, such an invasion of privacy to be knocked up by God without his permission.
Totally.
Like, God was the original Me Too.
That's insane. God was the original Me Too.
He was the original Me Too. Like,
Totally.
Yeah, like Mary's just like chilling. She's like honestly probably like pumped. Like she's come to terms. She can't have kids. She's thinking about all the things that she'll do as a single woman. All of a sudden, she looks down. She's pregnant. Like, how?
Yes.
Nuts.
Totally. Did Mary not have other children other than Jesus?
I don't know.
I think she did. That's
I
Old
think
Testament.
I think that no. Mary's new, but Mary's new, but I think the whole thing was that she was barren. I don't think she could have kids, and then she magically had Jesus.
Wow. I love it, man. This podcast is like, we are fully evolved. And
Oh, yeah.
we offer hot takes, God takes, all the takes.
We offer something for everyone. I wish I knew just like a little bit more about Buddhism. A little bit more. I'd love to be able to opine on Buddhism because I really am very into, as you know, my Eastern side, Eastern medicine. I'm there, Josh. I found out about these new pressure points that I told you about with the hand. I'm all in on Eastern, and I just think that, or I have been told that the connection between Eastern and Buddhism is right there, and that if I wanted to find that, I also heard that Kabbalah, Josh, has a lot of that. What do you think about leaning into Kabbalah?
I just think it's funny that on any given week, on any given Monday, you're injecting yourself with Ozempic going, I'm really into Chinese medicine.
Josh, I'm all over the place. I'll try Eastern, I'll try Western, I'll try anything.
I like Southern medicine.
I'm in. That's called a tablespoon of mayonnaise. That's
the new show from Bravo. It's Southern medicine.
Don't feel good? Have Hellman's.
Yes. A spoonful of Hellman's makes the medicine go down.
A quick crab rangoon.
Can you imagine
business.
that's the new Craig Conover spinoff? Southern medicine. We find him a new beau. She's like this Alabamian ER doctor.
I'm going to blow your mind, Josh. Southern Medicine is starring both Craig Conovers.
That's it. They're both in South Carolina. I can't believe
Yes.
they haven't run into each other.
The Doctor and the Stud. Southern Medicine. So good.
Then tell me about your cooking videos and kind of how you've been using your Galaxy S25 Ultra for that.
I mean, they've completely changed the game for me. I don't know if people know because they just see a perfectly edited video. They're like, Ben, how'd you do that? How'd you make a perfectly edited video, 45 to 90 seconds? Well, I'm recording on now my Galaxy S25 Ultra from Samsung. And, you know, I like to take some ASMR, Josh. Maybe a nice chop. People love that. A nice sizzle when you drop a nice sirloin in a hot pan.
Yeah, if you're burning a dumpling. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring that up. I'm so sorry.
That was pre-Samsung when I used to burn things. Now with the new Samsung, I don't burn anything, Josh. Okay? But you have this perfect ASMR moment, and all of a sudden, Romeo, woof, 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 or even Claudia, Ben, can you get me an apple? Like, no, I'm cooking, honey. I'm cooking, okay? And all you have to do, Josh, with this new beautiful phone, audio erase. They literally use AI in their audio eraser to get rid of unwanted sounds. Poof, they're gone. It's like magic.
Yeah, the audio eraser with Galaxy AI, it makes your life so much better because it's, the resolution is 8K, right? So the video is beautiful. But have you ever been filming something and all of a sudden you just feel wind and you go, here it is, It's like when my mother shows up unannounced. I'm like, oh, well, you could have said something. I wasn't expecting you. But it could be like the slightest bit of wind, or Romeo, or your wife needing a wonderful apple for one of her cravings, pregnant women, God bless them. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, if the sound is off, it ruins a video. And now you have a tool. And I think that's the game changer. Look, I think it's important that we say that you can get your Galaxy S25 Ultra right now, not later. Now at Samsung.com. Audio Eraser is compatible with common video formats, accessible in gallery, helps minimize 6 select sounds. Results vary. Galaxy AI features by Samsung free through 2025 and requires Samsung account login.
This episode of the Good Guys Podcast is brought to you by our friends at Prolon. Do I love going out and hanging out with my friends? Of course I do. Does all that eating and drinking start to take a toll? Of course it does. I can always tell when my body is desperately craving a reset, and Prolon by Nutra does just that. Prolon's 5-day program gives my system a break. It's fasting, but without the food, and it's pretty much a game changer. Prolon's fasting mimicking diet is a revolutionary plant-based nutrition program that nourishes the body while making cells believe they're fasting. Researched and developed for decades at USC's Longevity Institute and backed by leading U.S. medical centers, Prolon helps support healthy blood sugar, enhanced skin appearance, fat loss, and improved energy and focus post-fast. It all starts with their 5-day program, snacks, soups, and beverages designed to keep your body in a fasting state. No guesswork or planning required, which is a relief after a busy holiday season. 3 consecutive cycles of Prolon have been shown to reduce your biological age score by an average of 2.5 years and your waist circumference by 1.5 inches. Who doesn't want that? Folks, I did the 5-day program and I gotta tell you, I feel so much better. You wanna get rid of 1.5 inches off your waist? Well, I could use more than that, but we'll start with that, okay? It's really unlike any other diet that I've ever tried because it's not a diet. It's science. It's convenient. It's fasting without fasting. What more could you want? It's fantastic. So folks, to help you kickstart a health plan that truly works, Prolon is offering Good Guys listeners 15% off site-wide, plus a $40 bonus gift when you subscribe to their 5-day nutrition program. Just visit prolonlife.com/goodguys. That's PROLONLIFE.com/goodguys to claim your 15% discount and your bonus gift. ProlonLife.com/goodguys.
By the way, Dr. Greg Conover, I don't know how I'm looking, bro, but I am on a full injection of peptides daily, and I feel nuts.
You're looking good. You're
God
looking
bless.
really strong. Like huge.
I'm on peptides, babe. I'm on ipamorelin.
Talk to me about it. I want to know about it. Tell us.
So, peptides are, they basically are, I don't know, but no.
Another Joey Camaster recommendation.
Peptides are agonists, right? And so
Yes.
the ones that I'm on are like human growth hormone agonists. So instead of taking something artificial like a horse's dose of testosterone or human growth hormone, right, which is a pharmaceutical that's flooding your body with so much more than it could ever make naturally. But of course, you get those incredible gains that you wouldn't find in sort of the natural universe. Peptides are these amino acids that basically signal to your body, make a little bit more, upregulate your human growth hormone naturally. So your body's making it. Now, I guess sort of like the discussion or the the debate would be, didn't your body downregulate all that stuff for a reason? Like, you're 38, you're fully grown, maybe you don't need that much in your system anymore. To which I say, Pata, get over it. Get over yourself. So I feel good. Like my aches and pains, I feel like I'm getting, in better shape. It's kind of nice.
I mean, you look fantastic, and it just
God
sounds
bless.
like your guys were working an 8-hour shift. Now they're working 10.
That's
They'll be
right.
fine. They'll be fine.
There's no burnout.
No, they'll be fine as long as you're not taking like an insane amount. I think it's perfect. I love it. Speaking of aches and pains, Romeo, my pup, has been sleeping in the crate for the first year. And this is coming off of Theo, who used to sleep in bed with us. He was crate trained until 1, but then Theo was really sleeping in bed with us for 6 years. And Josh, Romeo had his first full night's sleep in our bed 2 nights ago.
Wow.
I woke up, my back. I was in so much pain because he slept in my legs. He slept in my arms. I didn't want to crush him. Claudia has a pregnancy pillow. I'm in the top corner. I had no room. And then I realized, were my aches and pains coming from sleeping with my dog? Because I have felt physically significantly better since Theo's passing. I thought about this. And I think it's because I'm sleeping without a dog. It's very hard to sleep with both a woman and a pregnancy pillow and a pooch.
Because
So,
it's
you said aches and
unacceptable
pains.
to have a dog in your bed.
Yeah, I think so. You can't do it anymore. I can't do it. I love it too. I love them. I love them so much. But it's not worth it. It's not worth my sleep quality. It's not worth it.
It's
not worth it.
unacceptable.
Yeah, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's easy for one partner because the dog only sleeps with one partner. So the other one's like, oh, I had the best night's sleep. He's so cute. It's great. It's like, yeah, he's literally tangled in my legs.
Right.
So
Yeah.
he said aches and pains.
And not
Aches
only
and
that,
pains.
it's like, do you wash their paws after you go out?
I do.
Every
Yes.
time?
Yeah, we do. He has really clean feet. Really clean feet, groomed a ton. He's clean. I feel good about his cleanliness. That said, you could still track in some dirt from the streets. It's definitely cleaner for him to sleep separately. Absolutely. But the real straw that broke the camel's back, if I'm not sleeping well, Josh, it's kaput.
Keep the animals out of the bed, including the children.
Yes.
They don't
Yeah.
belong in the bed. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, tell me.
Look, every different strokes, different folks. Stay out of our comments, people. If you do it, if you do a co-sleep situation, God bless you. I'm glad it works for you.
What do you mean a co-sleep? Like, people do that more than once in a while?
Oh, yeah. Full time.
What do you mean people How old?
We have couples in our life that refuse to allow their children to cry ever. And thus, the only time the kid can sleep is either on the mom or like babies. And so, first of all, everyone advises against having your baby in bed because you could fall asleep too and roll over on them.
People
so that's
their
such a bad
babies.
idea.
Their babies are sleeping in bed with them.
Some people do it. It's nuts.
This is insane. They can't even keep their own bodies up. Not only are you going to suffocate them, they're going to suffocate themselves.
Yeah.
How selfish are you? I hate that. Flood the comments. You're wrong.
And some people just feel like also that, when you get to that age, at 4 months old, they no longer need to eat every 3 hours. They can do a 8 or a 10-hour stretch without eating. And so that's usually when sleep training comes in, because they actually are okay doing a really long stretch if they take like a power bottle before they go to bed. And my wife, and it's just what's worked for us, and all families are wonderful and different. We sort of, with the help of our pediatrician, she was like, if you do it now, it's going to be a horrible 3 days because you're going to feel bad and you want the baby to be okay. But she's like, the baby will then be sleeping 10 to 12 hour stretches and be in such a good mood. It'll be good for their health. They'll just feel so good having this great sleep. So if you can, and if your baby reveals that it's right for them, I would suggest it. And we did. And it's been wonderful.
Yeah, I think it's tough, but you got to do it.
Yeah.
You got to do it. And of course, I would assume after a very long period of time, you'd go in to make sure nothing's wrong.
Of course.
But like, yeah, it's called letting the baby cry out. That's what it is, right?
That's always a controversy, right? There's a lot of schools of thought now of like, you don't let them cry it out. If they could be talking to you, they'd be saying why. I was like, yeah, because I thought they were saying thank you. yeah,
but like,
of course.
But you obviously go through a checklist. You're like, okay, do they need their diaper changed? Okay,
Exactly.
Do they have a gas bubble? Do they need to be burped? Okay, did they lose their pacifier or whatever it may be? But then after your checklist, if they're just crying, they probably miss you. But in the end of the day, you need them to sleep. They need to sleep.
We have friends going through it right now. My wife's wonderful longtime family friends, and they have their daughter Jonah, who's so cute. And, it was just, Jonah's about 6 months old, and I think they were getting to that point of like, we want to do it, but of course it's hard for parents to let their kids cry a little. And my wife was literally like, give it 10 minutes. See if you can tough it out for 10 minutes. And they were like, at 9 minutes 30, we were like, that's it. We're never doing this again. Paige is nuts. And at 10 minutes, 1 second, she fell asleep. Like, and look, sometimes it can be 40 minutes and that stinks. But I think there's also a thing with your child where you become very keyed into their cries, and they have different cries, and you can tell, like, I can tell when my little guy, like, when he's putting on a Daniel Day-Lewis, Timothée Chalamet caliber show for us. And I'm like, those are some gorgeous tears. Well done. Like, you're a better actor than your father, and it ain't hard. And then other times he'll cry for a second, and you'll blaze in because you'll be like, nope, that's different. You just know.
You just know. You just know. And I know everybody's going to come in the comments, don't relate your dog to a kid. Crate training a dog is an emotional process. You do have to let them cry for a significant period of time. I'm not saying it's the same thing. I'm not saying it's apples to apples. But once you get through the crate training process and then they're sleeping better and they're no longer crying. It has to be slightly similar.
It's totally similar. And I just think people need to just, whatever works for them is great. But the reality is, I told you, my friend Luca, shout out Luca, I hope you're listening. He has an unacceptable dog. He has a 90-pound giant golden whatever the hell, and Duncan, named after Dunkin' Donuts, shout out.
Nice name.
Duncan is a nice dog who still has his balls and humps me all day, every day when I'm over at the house. The dog is completely untrained, and it's 90 pounds. It's an unacceptable dog. I don't go over. I'm not coming over, Luca. You can't make me. Like, you have to train these dogs.
Have to. Unacceptable. We have a neighbor, awful neighbor, Josh, that recently moved in. They have 2 wiener dogs, and these dogs don't shut the fuck up. You hear a doorbell rings. Our doorbell rings. I hear through the walls their dog. Awful dogs. Like, yap, 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 yap. Non-stop. If you can't have a dog, don't.
Horrible.
Don't have a dog. Horrible. And neuter your dogs. It's not right. Unless you live in Montana, it's just you and the dog. If you live in the city, you have to neuter your dog. Otherwise, it's like Jesus. It's like Mary, Josh. All of a sudden, your pooch is going to come home. She's pregnant.
Yes.
Not right.
Like Bob Barker said, get your dogs spayed and neutered. I think that's cats.
This episode of the Good Guys podcast is brought to you by our friends at Nutrafol. Folks, it is what it is. We're not teens anymore, okay? We're older. We're probably in our 30s. I know I am. And you know what happens when you start to get just a little bit older? You start to get a little bit of shedding. Maybe that top of the head, those luscious locks are a little bit thinner than they once were. Well, it is what it is. And it's actually not a big deal at all if you do something about it. If you don't do anything about it, what are you, nuts? It's so easy. Do something about it. Get on Nutrafol, because Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist-recommended hair growth supplement brand, trusted by over 1.5 million people. See thicker, stronger, faster-growing hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol. Folks, thinning hair is different for men and women, so a one-size-fits-all approach to hair growth just simply doesn't cut it. Nutrafol has multiple formulas for men and women that are tailored to different life stages and lifestyle factors so you can get just what you personally need. So folks, start your hair growth journey with Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code GoodGuys10. Find out why over 4,500 healthcare professionals and stylists recommend Nutrafol for healthier hair. Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code GoodGuys10. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code GoodGuys10. This episode of the Good Guys podcast is brought to you by our friends at Insurify. Folks, we all have gone through this problem. You have a beautiful, brand spanking new car, but then you gotta go and get insurance just in case the unthinkable happens, right? But there are so many insurance companies, so many rates, so many quotes. What a drag that is. And you're almost always gonna get scammed because you're never gonna find the absolute perfect provider at the absolute perfect price. Oh wait, you can with Insurify. Because Insurify is an insurance comparison site that has dozens of top insurers compete for your business, driving prices down. Insurify lets you compare real-time quotes from dozens of top insurers, including names you know and trust. The entire Insurify process is handled completely online. That means no annoying phone calls, no ridiculous fees, and no spam ever. And get this, with Insurify, you can get insurance coverage in as little as 10 minutes. How's that for lightning fast? Your data's always safe with Insurify, too. They'll never sell your info, so you can shop with confidence. Oh, and did I mention that they have an excellent star rating from Trustpilot? Well, folks, get to Insurify.com to compare car insurance quotes in real time and start saving today. That's Insurify.com. Insurify.com. Disclaimer: average potential savings based on initial quotes received by 183,234 customers seeking insurance through Insurify. Actual savings may vary depending on state of residence, individual circumstances, coverage selections, and insurance provider. Savings results are not guaranteed.
Well, did you know that in the New York Post, they report that a holistic doctor said there are 3 foods that mimic Ozempic and how they work. Doctor, this is perfect for you. You love holistic.
I'm in. I'm going to add them to my list.
Dr. Taz Bhatia, a board-certified integrative medicine physician based in Atlanta, recently shared the items that she says mimic Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, and Mounjaro. Okay, the first one is foods high in MCT oil, omega-3 fats, and omega-9 fats. So, and MCT oil, it's coconut oil.
Believe me, Josh, I've been on the MCT oil grind in my keto season days.
Yeah.
I was putting that shit in my coffee.
Of course, gotta. He loves a health trend.
Love.
Next one is berries. Barry Sanders berries. They can reduce inflammation and improve the overall oxidation of the body. And there's a lot of fiber.
But they're not stopping you from eating. What the hell kind of crock is this? Eat berries. That doesn't have the same effect as Ozempic.
Hear me out. Chia seeds. Number 3, chia seeds. They've got lots of fiber and healthy fats. This is a crock. I'm sorry, Dr. Bhatia. It's ridiculous.
I'm sorry. And I liked you, Dr. Bhatia, too. I liked your name. I trusted you. And now I don't trust you anymore. Like chia seeds, I probably hold the record for the most chia seed pudding eaten in one sitting. I love chia seed pudding.
Same here. Do we have a chia sponsor?
No, we don't. Chia. I love chia. I'm in. But it certainly does not stop you from wanting to eat. I want to eat more chia.
And it's so calorically dense.
It's awful. Awful.
Not good.
Ugh. Not good. Something delicious, Josh. Last night I get a text from my dad. Hey, I just dropped off a quart container of rice pudding at your doorman. What a sweet man.
Oh my God. We're going to call your dad Dash.
He wrote, I just dropped off a quart container of rice pudding and a couple of Bangladeshi treats.
Bangladeshi treats?
Bangladesh cookies.
Yum. What are they like?
They
Are
were-
they like pistachio?
No, they were like
Jasmine,
these were just-
honey,
honestly,
rose
they were just, like,
water?
regular like soft cookies, like or regular like hard like vanilla-y cookies. I don't really know what made. Maybe they were from like I don't know what made them Bangladesh.
What
Made in
else did your
Bangladesh.
father recently drop off at your house? Russian dressing? There was some other.
Vodka sauce. Vodka sauce.
Okay.
Yeah. He's so funny. Like, hey, I just dropped a quart container of tuna at your door, man. Thanks, I'm out of town. I come back. It's moldy.
Benjamin, it's your father. It's Oidash here. I'm outside. Give me 5 stars. Hey-o.
Oidash. It's a great name for a Jewish DoorDash. Oidash.
I've included a smaller container for your doorman, Jesus. He's hysterical. He's never had anything like this. I said it's like paella, but Jewish. He didn't understand.
How good is rice pudding?
Oh, beyond. Cozy Shack? What's it called?
Cozy Shack. A+. There was this place in the city. Did you ever go to Rice to Riches?
In the Village?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had it on an episode of Girls, too, I think.
They closed down because I'm pretty sure it was mafia. Like it was just like 100% money laundering scheme. But man, Rice to Riches. Oof. It was like the
So
Cold
good.
Stone Creamery for those that don't know of rice pudding. Very niche. Very good.
The X-rated swinging symbol on cruises you might not know about. Here's how to spot it. Recently, on the Adriatic Gems of the Holland America Line cruise ship, this person learned that, oh my God, what kind of article is this? Let's just get to it. I'm like, where's the symbol? Oh my God. This is like, I think Royal Caribbean paid for this. This is just like, people should
They
cruise
probably
more.
did. They probably did, Josh.
Hold
You're
on.
probably reading a paid ad.
What is the symbol for swingers on a cruise? That was definitely a paid ad, and I feel hoodwinked.
What is it?
Oh,
Isn't
it's
it like a banana or something?
Upside down pineapple displayed
down
on a cabin
pineapple.
door.
Yeah. That's what it is. Upside down pineapple.
I mean, how is that not like a rom-com with Vince Vaughn? Like, swingers hook up the first night on a cruise, it goes poorly, and now they have 13 more nights together on the same cruise.
I'm in. I'm all in.
That's a layup. Well, I'm cougar swapping toy boys with my friends. Men my age have too much baggage and are bad in bed. God bless you, New York Post. This cougar is sharpening her claws. Arrrr, I added that. After 7 years spent dating dud dudes her own age, Haley Hooper, 38. Wait, 38-year-olds are cougars? Fuck. I'm old. She's setting her sights on fellas who are a little younger. Guys my age don't want anything fun. The part-time nurse and part-time stripper complained. Oh, that's balance. All they want is some kind of stepmom for their kids, and they always bring along baggage from being with their ex-wives, she further moaned. More often than not, though, they're just so judgmental. Yeah, they're hooking up with 21-year-olds who they said had to save up for dinner, but it was worth it when it got to the bedroom.
Oh my. Whoa.
Dirty birdies.
I will say, Josh, 38, not a cougar.
No,
And
right?
and a 38-year-old on a 21-year-old is what we call a predator. No? Is that not predatory?
Yes. I sorry, I was trying to understand. Yeah, I mean, it is. I don't
I
know.
think
Maybe it's
so.
a double standard.
I think it's a double standard.
is.
I think 21 is way too young.
It is.
Way too young. It would be so different if it was 50, even 50 and 25. I feel 100 times better than 38 and 21. Would you agree?
Olivia?
I think there's just so much that happens in like the first half of your 20s. It's like a really transformative period, and a lot of life lessons are learned during that time. And like, I don't know, when I was 21, I was like a junior in college, like, you know, maybe like nearing graduation, but not quite. So like, I don't know, you're just still in like a totally different headspace. So it feels kind of weird. I would even be more comfortable with like 24,
Totally.
23, but like 21 just feels like you just are now allowed to have a drink in a bar legally.
You're a baby.
Yeah.
You're a baby. Like, it's even if you like, it's too young. It's too young.
You need to be able to make your own mistakes and like learn and live your own life and not, it's too young.
Yeah, I think it's too young.
I agree, and I totally hear and understand and agree with you guys. I guess like my brain goes to like, wow, like 21-year-old boys are such idiot knuckleheads that like an older woman could really like teach them some important lessons. But of course, just using them physically, that's where the double standard comes in, and I don't think that's cool at all.
Look, good for the boys. I'm not saying it's not great. Like, it's good for them. It's
right.
Just 21-year-old boys might as well be 15.
Totally.
Like you're so stupid until you reach your mid to late 20s. Like, and then
Right.
you're still pretty dumb. But it just feels like babies. I don't know. I prefer larger age gaps of older, like 55 and 30 or 60 and 30 feels better.
Totally. Like when I was 18 and the girl was 30 when I lost my virginity. Is that's wild.
That's wild.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
That's
thank
wild.
you. Bleep this. Thank you. It really helped me. It was. Don't feel bad. I needed it, and you did it, and I appreciate it. And then you got obsessed with me and threatened to call my mother. But other than that, it was great. It was so bad. Oh my God.
I need more, honestly. I haven't heard this story.
You haven't?
No.
Oh, that's a cliffhanger for next week because we're going to need half an episode for that one. It's fun.
Great.
And Mom, don't listen to this episode.
This episode of the Good Guys podcast is brought to you by our friends at Goodwipes. Folks, if you're not using wipes, what are you, nuts? You need to use wipes. Otherwise, you're just spreading everything around. You're not cleaning anything. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, so moving on past that, you need to get wipes. Now you got to think to yourself, what wipes do I want? Perhaps you want premium wipes, wipes that elevate your everyday hygiene, maybe some wipes that are infused with soothing botanicals like aloe, vitamin E, and chamomile. Is that something you might be interested in? Well, folks, we're talking about Goodwipes. Naturally scented, hypoallergenic, come in a variety of gorgeous scents such as rosewater, shea cocoa, lavender, cedar, and botanical bliss. How gorgeous is that? Super soft, so much better than other wipes. Actually flushable, okay? No more plunger. Well, maybe you need a plunger for another reason, but it's never going to be because of your wipes. Okay, and free from harsh chemicals, parabens, and dyes. Nobody wants those in your keister. So, folks, if you want to upgrade your restroom ritual, you can grab Goodwipes at Target, Walmart, Kroger, and most local grocery stores. As a special offer for Good Guys listeners, Goodwipes is giving you your first pack free. Buy any package, text them your receipt, and get reimbursed almost immediately. For more details, go to goodwipes.com/goodguys. Again, as a special offer for Good Guys listeners, Goodwipes is giving you your first pack free. Buy any package, text them your receipt, and get reimbursed almost immediately. Again, that's goodwipes.com/goodguys to snag a free pack of Goodwipes. This episode of the Good Guys podcast is brought to you by Booking.com. Folks, we're going on a trip. I don't know where we're going, but I know that we have a lot of different things that we need to make sure are in our house or room. We're talking a jacuzzi. We want to have a jacuzzi. Perhaps we want to have a balcony overlooking the ocean. That sounds nice, doesn't it? Maybe we want a nice pool, a heated pool perhaps, some central AC, a kitchenette because we get hungry, a refrigerator. We need a refrigerator. Folks, this episode of the Good Guys podcast is brought to you by Booking.com. Yeah. Every time I use Booking.com to find a place to stay in the U.S., I know they'll have exactly what I'm looking for. They have a huge variety of options from hotels to vacation rentals, and I know I can find exactly what I'm looking for. I found Booking.com has something for everyone. Folks, if you want to go, I don't know, nice beach vacation, take in those sunny rays, but perhaps you don't want to stay in a hotel. You want to stay in some gorgeous, really considered space because we're looking for a refrigerator, we're looking for a balcony, we're looking for beachfront access. Well, folks, they got everything. And if you want a hotel, they have that too. Everything at Booking.com. It's really unbelievable. Also, folks, for the picky traveler, like myself, really like my wife, okay? She's much more picky than me. Don't listen to her. Don't tell her that she's not more picky than me. I digress. We need to make sure that we have hotels with lots of specifications, and I've found that on Booking.com, I can make sure that every single inch of this trip, every single inch of these accommodations is up to snuff. So folks, find exactly what you're looking for on Booking.com. Booking.yeah.
Should we get to a speak pipe?
Yeah.
If you want any advice, if you want to ask us questions, keep it brief. Brevity is key, and go to speakpipe.com/goodguys. Here's one from Anonymous.
Hey Josh and Ben, I'm one of your 3 non-Jewish listeners, and anyway, I need
Welcome.
some advice on giving and taking criticism, because my husband and I recently got married, and neither one of us is good at giving or taking criticism. And criticism is a strong word because sometimes it's just like, hey, this little thing you did kind of hurt my feelings. And we both end up crying. So, what can we do to give and take criticism better in our marriage? Thanks. Love you. Bye.
We didn't even get an example.
I know, but they're apparently crying over their criticisms.
Okay, well, if it's going to make you cry, like, it better be worth it. I think that's, like, my message. Like, you're going to, especially early on in a relationship, early on in a marriage, a lot of things are going to bother you. A lot. And I think it's very important to weed out what is really important. And if it's going to make them cry, it's probably, like, probably not worth it. Like, I would just swallow it until it hopefully goes away. And then if it never goes away, you have bigger problems. But I do find that the longer you're with someone, like, those little things end up sort of fixing themselves as you get to know each other.
I'm big. I really believe in communication, and I think if there's a way to throw things out there and let them stick and give someone, I would love to recover quickly. That's how
Me
I
too.
feel.
Yeah.
I would love to know. I've had to make my peace with that. People recover at different speeds. Men and women are different. Because my whole thing is like, let's like have it out and hard and full out and celebrate with a canoodle. And like,
Yeah.
But that's like my total, is that, Olivia, is that just my total man brain?
I don't know. So you're saying like you want to just like hash it all out, put it out there, and then you want to make up, like kiss and make up.
Yeah, like I want to dump it. Like I really want to communicate and not let it fester. Like, let's get it out now. And then like let's quickly move on and like let's make a declaration of our love.
It's like us, Josh.
Yes.
People don't know. Josh and I got in our first little fight. Last week we had it out and then we had a love fest. Except there was no sex because we're too far away.
I know. Next
If we were
time
in person though, you would never know.
we got to make sure to fight when we're on the same coast. Yeah, we got into a spat over in our group chat with Olivia, and I literally was like, "Ben, take this offline."
And we did. And we had our spat and it was over. I will say, I know Olivia hasn't answered yet. It's not gender. It's by the person. Because
Okay.
my wife is the biggest, let's have it out and be done with it.
Right.
Like she does not want to think about this tomorrow. And I definitely was more of a, I'm going to think about this tomorrow. And now I'm on the side. I think I've learned from her. I'm on the side of once it's done, it's done. And it's a much more pleasant way to live.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think that it's gendered. Ethan's definitely more like that. Like he wants to just like put it all out on the table at once and like let's hash through it. And I think in the past I was very much like I'm gonna hold on to this until it's the perfect time to like discuss it, and I'm gonna overthink everything and like be very, very gentle in my approach and so on and so forth. But I think there really is something to like a blend of it where it's like, okay, let's pick a time where we can like both kind of come to this conversation and like we're both ready to have it, but also like you can't wait too long, and you can't wait because there'll never be a perfect time. So if you can try to find, you know, a time where you're both in the right space to be able to communicate and not like blow up on each other, that's great. But you know, life together things happen, and I think it's just important to like be transparent, and then make up and move on from it, let it go the best you can, but or grow from it, and if it's a bigger problem, it's a bigger problem. But that's my 2 cents.
It's a great 2 cents, and what's interesting is the people who hold on to things, I think, are only hurting themselves. Because you're the only one thinking about it, especially if you're arguing with somebody who forgets it immediately. Like, then you are the only one poisoning you with that information. So I think that if you're with somebody that likes to fight and forget, you got to fight and forget.
Yeah, and I think it becomes habitual, and you get into a good rhythm. It's like working out. It hurts at first, but when you get good at communicating, my wife and I, we have very different ways in which we confront things, and I can be too confrontational, and maybe sometimes she's not enough. And so sometimes she'll be like, why? I will feel like if I don't bring it up, it just will go unsaid because, she's better at just like dealing with it on her own, where I feel the need to like, let's confront this, let's have it out. And so sometimes it will become a thing where my wife will say like, well, why am I the bad guy? Like, why is it always you bringing this up about something I did? And I'm like, because if I'm the only one bringing it up, when I do, I'm not going to go, oh, I'm so mad at me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yes, if I'm the only one bringing it up, it will feel one-sided. But like, please feel free to bring it up when I'm being annoying. And if we get into a better habit of that, then it won't fester and it won't feel as big when we finally have it out.
Yes, agreed. If something's bothering you, confront it. Don't let it fester. It'll eat away at your soul.
No good. You know what else eats away at your soul? This next speak pipe.
Hey, Josh and Ben, longtime moron and toaster. Quick question for Ben. I am a fellow GLP-1 medication person, and I find the night before I take my shot absolutely miserable. I'm ravenous, and I want to eat quite possibly everything in sight. Any tips to help me overcome this? Thanks. Love the pod.
To actually overcome it, take your shot earlier.
Right.
This is a totally normal thing, and people do it. Like, if you are struggling by day 7, take it every 5 days. Like, it's a normal thing. You can ask your doctor, but that is recommended. Because I love it, I love the 7th day, and I wait for it so that I can eat. But that's why I'm probably not losing any weight, because the first 5 days, I'm losing so much weight, and then day 6 and day 7, I'm putting it all back on. So really, I should listen to my own advice and take the shot every 5 days. But take the shot earlier. It'll really help, and it is miserable, like losing all of your progress that you worked so hard for over that last day. But I love it. It's also a reward. I've been having in general just like a difficult time lately after dinner, which I used to have really under control. I mentioned this like as a joke with Nicole Byer about the yogurt, but I am having far too much Greek yogurt. I just like the taste, but I'm having too much of it. This is more, there's no advice to give. I just need to eat less yogurt. It's me to me. Eat less yogurt at night.
Okay, let me tell you what I ate yesterday, and this is a perfect day of eating for me.
Okay.
I woke up and around 7:30, 8 o'clock, I had a big bowl of oatmeal with the hemp seeds and the chia seeds, and I mix in like some strawberry protein milk, so it flavors it, a little bit of peanut butter, yummy. It easily a 700 or 800 calorie bowl of oatmeal. So good. And I'm not hungry. I don't think about food again. And then it's like 1 o'clock and I was going home and there's this amazing Japanese market and they have a Japanese food court with a ramen stall and a tempura stall and like all these places that I love. So I had a spicy tuna roll. I had like this garlic tofu bowl with rice and sauteed garlic tofu and onions, some gyoza deep fried.
Delish.
And then as I was leaving, there was this bakery and they had a cream coronet. A coronet. I'm like, that's nuts. What the fuck is that? And it was like easily a 700 calorie pastry with thick, rich, like just crazy. And I said, I'm going to eat this all on my way to the car. And I did. And I didn't eat another thing after 2 o'clock. had a really good workout. Didn't feel bad at all. Felt great.
No, what you just described, 99.9% of people cannot do.
Okay, say more. I'm so unique.
If you have that cornet at 2:00, you are like the normal person is ordering General Chow's chicken for dinner, and they're like they've given up on their day.
Really?
Like, yes. And what you do great, which is the number one thing that I think keeps you fit, is that you stop eating so early. I'm 100% sure that none of my calories count, seriously, between the hours of 12 and 5. And I can't, and if I could just limit it to 12 and 5, I could have 5,000 calories a day and lose weight. I know it. I know it for a fact. But because I eat, and most people are trained to eat all the way up until they go to bed, that's where all the weight is gained. So yeah, you eat whatever you want during the hours of 7 to 2. You're great. Like, it's not, who cares? You had your nice sweet treat. But the fact that you didn't need to then ruin your day because of the sweet treat, that means that you just have a good relationship with food.
Cream cornet.
I need a cream cornet. I also need cream corn.
Cream cornet?
Imagine a cream corn filled cream cornet.
So good. That sounds amazing. Okay,
So
we finally figure out a business to start. It closes in one day.
Creamed cornets.
The cream cornets. Oh my God, the New Jersey Cream Cornets. We start a basketball team. Okay, last one from, I don't know.
Hey, good guys. Just went through a breakup about a week ago. It was over the phone, which is fine because we live 4 hours apart, so not that big of a deal. Known him for about a year. We were dating for 3 months, so we were friends beforehand, and I was always worried that the relationship was going to ruin the friendship, and it did. But he said immediately when he broke up with me that he wasn't interested in being friends anymore, and because he thinks that's awkward after you're in a relationship with somebody, and I disagree, but I didn't want to fight it and make it awkward for him trying to force a friendship. But I kind of miss talking to him all the time and just telling him about like daily life stuff. So is it weird if I reach out to him and ask him if he'd be interested in being friends, or should I just let this fizzle out and be a thing of the past? Thanks, good guys.
This is sad. I'm torn. I think that you're two completely different types of people. You sound like a lovely, lovely lady. And the fact that you could just have like a nice friendship with this person means that it means a great deal about you. I think that the person you're dating is significantly less mature than you, and or was significantly more in love with you in different ways than you were with him. There's clearly two ships passing. There's a miss. But I think that if one person is uncomfortable with it, obviously you're not gonna change his mind. I think you just got to drop it. But it's a sad story. Josh?
I remember I once dated a girl, and we went kind of back and forth for a year after that. And I remember I texted her like 6 months after that, and I was like, can we just be friends? And she was like, I can't be your friend. And I remember that was like, I respected her for putting that boundary up, because we had kind of gone back and forth, but I'd been the one who was like doing the breaking up and just young and didn't want to be committed. And she was hurt, and she was like, no, I can't do that. So yeah, I think that it's really hard. It's especially hard if you don't, I'm always of the mind like, well, we didn't get into it to be friends. You know, like, we had a different thing. I think if you're friends for a long time and then maybe it becomes physical for a little, maybe you can sustain the friendship. But otherwise, I just think it's a tough thing. And I would also check your motives, because there might be a part of you that's like, I swear I just want to be friends, and if we somehow got back together, cool.
Yeah. Agreed.
You know?
It's tough. I hope she finds a new friend.
Yeah. Do you have What Are You Nuts?
I do. I do. Our What Are You Nuts moment. People, places, and things. Gripes with humanity. Something sticking in you. You look at somebody on the street, you're like, you're a moron. That's What Are You Nuts, okay? I have definitely told this before, but it's something that needs to be said more than once. And it's going to sound like me, pompous Ben, celebrity. It is what it is. If I'm having lunch, I have my mouth full, and you come up and you say, hey, I'm so sorry to interrupt you while you're eating, and then start a conversation. Don't tell me you're sorry. Don't tell me that you're sorry for interrupting while I'm eating. Because you're not sorry, because my mouth is full. I'm eating. I have an omelet hanging out of my mouth. You're not sorry, and that's totally fine. Nobody needs to apologize. Nobody needs to say sorry. Just come say hi. Next time, just come say hi. But I don't want the song and dance. Oh, I'm so sorry for bothering you. No, you're not. You're not sorry. Otherwise, you wouldn't have bothered me. What are you, nuts?
One thing about Ben, loves his fans.
I'm like Robbie Hoffman. Leave me alone.
My What Are You Nuts is I had a dinner with a buddy who sadly lost his house in the fires in the Palisades. And he goes, guess what I got offered today? I said, what? He goes, a professional sifter. That's right. For $800 an hour, you can employ someone to, like we're in the golden days in the Oregon Trail, to sift through your ashes. It's dark. It's nuts. What are you, nuts?
$800 an hour?
He was like, Josh, it was so expensive that I was like, anything you find is not going to be worth the money I'm going to spend.
Oh my God, that is What Are You Nuts? Stop grave robbing too. I hate that. God, like you don't need to make a buck off of people. Like, it's terrible. I hate that. Screw them. That said,
nuts?
How do we invest?
Shout out small business. Take us home, Ben.
Folks, this episode is 5 stars. Otherwise, What Are You Nuts? Listen to us wherever you get your podcasts. Watch us on YouTube. Share our clips, Instagram and TikTok, and then share them again. And then watch our episodes again. We now have these fun 8-minute clips on YouTube. You will love them. Go check them out. Mondays and Thursdays, folks. We will see you next time.